Okay, just a quick video. This is a Tour 60 to 150 watt ballast for a fluorescent light, and unfortunately this thing's got an open circuit, so that's given me the opportunity to scrap it. So a quick look at the wiring diagram, just in case you have one lying around and it's good. And this one has to have an igniter, because this is not an electronic ballast. It's just a standard ballast. Whereas this one is what they call electronic ballast, where the ignition of the bulb is done electronically through the ballast as well. Whereas this one doesn't do that. It's just to handle the load, so to speak. So we're going to strip it down from its main components: steel and copper, maybe a bit of brass if you can find some. And when taking these bits off, these are going to be hard. Depending on how hard the ballast is, this plastic is going to be hard, whereas eye protection is needed and is a must, even when drilling out the pot rivets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill down the middle of it to see how thick the iron core is, and then cut it in half. And that should make it a little bit easier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my drill. I'm going to get rid of all the rivets that's just holding the connector block on, but I'd rather drill it all away so that the base plate here can bugger off, basically. Okay, my apologies, I actually forgot to record the second part of the video. Anyway, this is what we've got in here. It is copper windings, and because this is got paint on it, like paint they put to stick it to the plastic to stop the windings shorting out from the metal housing, that is classed as number 2 copper. Number 1 is bright copper, and it's always a good idea to separate your copper from number 1, which is clean copper, and number 2, which is copper that's got any paint on it, or dull copper. So that's going to stay as is, and it's a mixture of light and dull. But because this place is not very watertight, for example, all my copper is going to end up being number 2, or dull copper, because the condensation breaks down, or makes the copper go dull, and it's made my vise get really rusty. And before I end this video, there's about a kilo's worth of steel in there. All of that's steel. Oh, and a baked bean can. So I've got 2 kilos of steel and about a kilo of copper. Not unstripped wire, about 100 grams of stripped copper. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.